I still find it funny that we have a video game cutscene as the end of the intro, but then again, we are covering the manga. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, everyone, and welcome to this celebration stream of Kaiju number 8, where we are talking about the manga as the manga has now finished since yesterday, or, well, 2 days ago if you're talking Swedish time zones. But joining me today is Didge. How's it going, man?
It's going well. I'm glad to be here. Sad that Kaiju number 8 has ended, but happy to talk about it.
Joining me also is Brandon. How's it going, Brandon?
I'm great. I'm excited. I look forward to being back more regularly here in the Amateur Otaku world because I love reading great books, and Kaiju Number 8 is one of those great books that just came to an end. I love that it wasn't a book that was trying to be more than it needed it to be. It was one of those books that I was just it was just right. It wasn't too long. The action was always on point. When it needed to be dramatic, it was dramatic and it was on point. And the ending was, it was just right for the type of series that it is.
Mhm.
It was a great ride, and I'm looking forward to talking with y'all, my brothers, to
Yeah,
dissect this nice final take on Kaiju number 8.
yeah. We covered that manga for a bit, but then life happened and never really covered that up or whatever. But we felt that, well, it deserves the spot similar to Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero Academia.
Yes.
And Attack on Titan also, if I'm not mistaken. We did one for the manga ending. I know we did it for the anime ending. But
No, no,
did
we did one,
we?
we did one for the manga ending like a year before it all ended. So we did do it.
Yeah. Okay. It was such a while that I couldn't really recall in that regard. But for those that are unaware that what Kaiju number 8 is, or Monster 8, well, go back to it after you read the manga or watched the. Because this will be a spoiler review, so to speak. All the
Spoilerific.
things. Spoilerific indeed. But
If it was One
anywho,
Piece, we would be telling you what the One Piece is.
I, uh, I want to start off with you, Dej, with something I mentioned in the JDK stream, just for the sake of it. Top three favorite characters in this manga and why?
Ooh, that's tough. Kikoru Shinomiya will definitely be one of the three. I don't have a this isn't going to be in any order because I these are just the probably the
Yeah,
three
that's fine.
standouts.
That's fine. That's fine.
Um, just from seeing how much she grew throughout the entire manga, like obviously when we first saw her, she was very much this like the I'm not gonna necessarily say spoiled, but she was the prodigy, like the cocky prodigy, and her learning more about like why she was so driven, like with her mother's death, and then seeing her have to continue to grow very quickly with her father's death. She definitely was a standout. Like to see where she was from the beginning to the end, she had probably the second most growth. Um, hmm. Mina would be second just because she was very one dimensional. I think when we first saw her, she's she was very much just the like. Obviously, we had the background that she had with Kafka, and like we knew her from that. But when you first saw her, she was just the hard nosed like leader. It wasn't really much of anything that you saw about her character outside of that. So you got the immediate fear that she was going to be just always just one dimensional, like I said, one always just I'm trying to figure out how to best put it, but like just she was a typical military person. Like I grew
Right.
up in a military household, and my dad was never the military person who was everything has to be strict and driven. But I be growing up in a military household, I knew people who were like that. Like some of the people that he hung around, and she very much had that mindset. It felt like, and again, you were able to see her grow and flesh out. The third is just Ichikawa, just because he was very much always, he always felt like he was had Kafka's back. So to see to have that character who was always pushing for the people around him to be better, that was also something that I really enjoyed. And then obviously Kafka just as an honorable mention, but it's you. It feels cheap too, like, oh yeah, the main character is a top 3 character. So I usually always try to go with some of the characters around.
That's fine. Brandon?
I hated this book, so I got nothing. So I just like Ditch. I don't want to talk about it in any order per se, but Rino Ishikawa, I think it's one of the strongest straight supporting characters in any series.
Mhm.
Like because the evolution of that character is really the fact that he never changes. Apart from that shift in the beginning where he recognizes the heart that is within Kafka and chooses to follow that example of being a hero and doing the right thing and caring about others, right? In spite of any personal um, harm. But I like the idea that Reno really becomes like the ambassador of the heart that Kafka has, because the same effect that Kafka had on Reno in the beginning of the series, Reno then imparts that to everyone who he interacts with. And that to me was very inspiring. And apart from the fact that Reno's just a badass, and it's funny because we really don't see Reno up close ever. Kind of, we almost always see Reno from the eyes of others and how he's growing in the middle of others and how he ends up being this prodigy, and he just has the coolest powers. With the I think it's the Kaiju Number 1, I think is what it was, right? That he has the cold one, I think it is.
Yeah,
But
that sounds
so
right.
so that's so to me, Reno is definitely a standout. Um, I want to say Kikuru Shinomiya as well because she is an exceptional character. I also like that she is she definitely is a callback to Asuka in Neon Genesis Evangelion, because there's a lot of Evangelion vibes in this show in terms of the type of scope, the type of battles, type of enemies. Um, but I do like that character's phenomenal. But also I think I want to say Kafka definitely stands out because for being such an unorthodox main character on a shonen show. Because if you figure, like, a shonen is mostly high school or early college, like, this is a dude in his 30s that does not have it figured out, right? And the idea that it's this underdog story of this guy that takes one last chance and chooses to trust on people he's never known, that doesn't know, and the fact that he gets to a place where he can make a difference and to reach his dreams, like, because I want more unorthodox protagonists like this in a shonen show. I like the idea of, like, this was written for people like us, right? You know what I mean? Like this is the shonen for us because Kafka is that character. But also I like how much depth we get in Kafka's story, especially when you put him in juxtaposition with other characters, the battle within, the fear that he has, the battle within with the kaiju's. When you put him in front of Director Shinomiya, when you put him against Mina, and the fact where he ends up, it's pretty awesome. Especially that final curtain that after almost 40 chapters, he finally comes back to the base. You know what I mean? Like that homecoming was just so warm, and speaks of the hero's journey for Kafka. So that to me
Yeah.
was great. So definitely those three: Reno, Kafka, and Kikaru. And I think it's really hard also because there's so many great supporting characters in this show. Like if you were to pick a supporting character MVP, it will be very hard because every single captain or vice captain in this show, in this book, really influences in a very significant way every main character of the story. So it's really hard for you to pick just one. But I like how they balance it out and how everyone has very unique abilities and stuff like that. This is kind of like Demon Slayer on steroids, kind of. You know what I mean? But it doesn't kind of hit the walls that maybe Demon Slayer hits, because I think there's a lot more growth within the characters of Kaiju than what we see on Demon Slayer. Um, but yeah, that's what I got. What you got, Isaac?
Well,
Did I say it all again? No.
no, you didn't say it all again. You're okay. Well, some part you have said all again because, well, Mina Hashira is one of my favorite characters because I always have a sucker for, well, strong badass female characters. So, and you two know that about now. And then we also have, and I'm probably one of Soshihiro Hoshina because he was just such a, how should I put it, goofy, sarcastic asshole with the heart in the right place, which is always entertainment for me, if I'm being completely honest. And another favorite of mine, well, for the sake of using someone else, well, Kafka is one of my favorite, but I would honestly say number 9 to an extent because he is such a simplistic villain. You don't overcomplicate him, and the design fits perfectly. I always appreciate when they don't, how should I put it? I admire when people are trying to do something extra with this character, but it having a villain with a scenario like this that is as complex as Attack on Titan wouldn't have worked, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a great example of a villain that is not complicated on purpose, and it actually helps the story.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those are probably my 3 parts, and I then with that said, I will have to ask you top 3 favorite moments in this book, and I'm gonna have Brandon take the helm of that at first.
Damn, that's a lot.
Okay, let's say top
So
2 then.
no. I'm good with top 3. I'm just saying it's a lot.
I know.
Definitely. There's okay. I would definitely say, um, the battle between the upgraded Kaiju number 10 versus Hoshina in the Kaiju number 10 armor.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
like that right there is one of those unique cases of just brilliant writing in terms of any kind of final battle. Like not only was all the kaijus at the end terrifying, but also the idea that Hoshina's competitiveness and fearlessness and determination, it's what keeps Kaiju number 10 within his suit active and excited. And they're both figuring out ways and topping each other's ideas to then be able to beat this other kaiju. To me, that was just unique, and I love the fact that we didn't see other examples like this. Like all the other people had kaiju number weapons and abilities, but none of them was as unique as that's I think that's one of the things that stands out is like everybody's armor power set, it's unique to them. Um and nothing felt repetitive. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that to me was a nice touch with all of those things. But that battle in particular was great. Um I think where Kaiju number 9 actually takes beats the entire defense force and takes Director Shinomiya. Like that whole assault that culminates in that big defeat, I think was a big turning point for the whole series, and definitely skyrocketed the stakes to a place that we all thought were like so high, but by the end, it actually we thought we couldn't go higher, but the stakes really got higher towards the end, which was great. Um, and and I think the final moments of the last three chapters of Ren Reno coming back to assist Kafka in his final battle against the Meijuku Daiju. Um, the revelation of Kikuru being able to handle two numbers weapons, that was pretty awesome. Which I like the fact that everything that we've seen, like in the track record of how fast she's developed her skills, how quickly she gets stronger, the fact that they've been saying that she's a prodigy, all of that kind of sets the table for making sense that she's the only one that can handle two numbers weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you gave it to any other character, it would have felt like a cop out. You know what I mean? Like, but the fact that it was Kikuru that was able to do it, like, it felt earned. Does that make sense? Because when you have a big ass battle like you had at the end of this book, you're looking for that scapegoat where the author just made it easy for himself.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that. And the fact of all of them coming together to be able to deal that final blow. Kikuru doing her thing, Mina doing her thing, and then of course Kaiju number 8 in, I don't know, Super Sentai Samurai mode. Is that what we're gonna call it? Just destroying the core. That was pretty solid. I also like how overly simplistic defeating a kaiju always is from start to finish. Like literally find the core, destroy. Like
that's
period.
all you need. Yeah,
that's all you need to do. It wasn't overly complicated. But I like the fact that depending on how strong the kaiju was and how smart it was, it can do certain things to make it harder. So, and I also like that kind of difficulty level and raising of the stakes really changed and grew as the story progressed. So, but yeah, those three. So it's definitely Daikaiju number 10 and versus number 10 armor Soichiro. The revelation of the defeat of the defense force against Kaiju number 9, and then those final chapters against the Meikiji era Daikaiju. That's what I got.
Edge.
The first one that comes to mind is the raid on the base, Tachikawa base, just because that was that was when you first started to realize, okay, there's going to be much more than what we thought this was going to be. Obviously the anime felt like it was leading towards it, and then the manga even more. And I'm reason I bring up the anime is because that's where they're at. Like they're starting to see that part where it's like, oh, this story opens up so much more than we all thought. And then honestly, all three of mine kind of happened almost in rapid succession, because the second one I would pick is when Kafka had to fight Director Shinomiya, because that was when it finally felt like, okay, they're going to accept him as kaiju and human and still let him sort of complete the goal that he wanted to do as a kid.
Yeah.
And so to again, like I said, this is where everything is starting to really open up. And you're like, this world is going crazy, because then it is also uh, when Hoshina first gets the armor, because he already went through all of this stuff with the base. The team, everything is kind of split. Everybody's sort of fractured, and like things kind of feel a little hopeless. And you can tell that he's not as confident in his skills. Like that was one of his things always, because he's puts out a lot of confidence, but there's definitely, I won't necessarily call it self-loathing, but there are some doubts in there. And so when Kaiju number 10 says, I only want to speak to him,
Yeah.
and he's like, I'll give you the information of how you guys, sort of can move forward, but you have to be my arm. Like I need to be your weapon. That really was like, oh, okay, everybody's getting into their mode of we need to go to the next level, because the threats only getting bigger, and like I said, the world's so expanding so much more. So it was like, to put it all together, like I said, it's just like, oh, okay, we're going to the next stage now, and the next stage is bigger and bigger. So we all got to be ready.
No, and you say that, and it's also awesome because the idea that the Kaiju is letting no. I want to talk to him.
Yeah,
I respect him.
the
I
fact, yeah, the
respect him.
fact that
You know what I mean? It was like a
he
bro.
wanted to talk to no one else,
Yeah.
and he's like, no,
Yep.
if he
Yep.
doesn't show up, you're not getting anything out of me, because
Yep.
that's the person I need.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's just a little eye floating. It's like, I'm still calling the shots, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's well, it's how should I put it? It's when Kafka truly had to prove himself to the army, where no, I'm still human, and was tested to fight against Isol. You know,
Yeah,
the fight that they show in the first season.
yeah, that's all I was saying.
Which,
That was one of mine too, because it's such a good fight, and I love the way that they animated it. I know obviously
Yeah,
this is all
definitely.
about the manga, but they animated that. Like that's what I would have wanted reading that. So I was happy.
Yeah, and another one is that I haven't heard someone really talk about, and I do wonder if that's a Dragon Ball reference. But do you remember chapter 104, where number 9 is trying to absorb Mina? Do you guys remember that chapter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easily one of them, because you can see her fighting, just never not giving up, even if it looks impossible. And you can see, and just how she never, even if she did lose a bit of hope at the end, but I don't know, just the fact that she did do her damnedest, and it was so satisfying seeing them managing to get her out of there at the end. And the third part, I honestly really don't know, because there is. I can't recall what his name is. The captain that the thing is he really a captain, a commander, and who Kikaru has to deal with, who is just a shut-in gamer, and then he just proves
Narumi?
himself. Yeah,
Yeah.
And he's able to prove himself, and just, oh damn, which was just taken by the surprise type of deal. So that's probably my top 3 moments. But
Can we talk about what a great job um, the author, with help of course, was able to do when they did Kaiju number 8 B-side?
yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
side content did so much to enrich everything that we were reading, um, that it really acts as a means to make this book more complete, especially with those side characters.
Yeah, that
You
is
don't have
true.
to read B side, but it really adds a lot more depth. Like you get the backstory for Soshiro, you get backstory for Kikuru, you get backstory for Narumi. So those were great additions to the story. Um, but yeah, I like how Narumi's just a stupid character, but it's so overpowered.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's very much the crap. I can't remember the specific term for it, but it's like the almost the master that's they're so when you first see them, you're like, oh, it's like the joke character that turns to be the master. Like that, it likened me back to obviously he's not training anyone, but like when you first see Yoda in Star Wars, you're like this goofy
Yeah.
little character, and then
Yep.
you
Yep.
see when you see that them like actually get to work, you're like, oh, okay, I get
Yep.
why everyone is like, no, this is the person. And
Yep.
so I do like that
That it
trope a
was like
lot.
Yoda on during Revenge of the Sith. Like
Yes.
like it starts flipping. It's like, oh
You're
shit.
like, oh, okay, okay, I get this now.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. It's like okay, he's invited. Okay, he's invited. He can come. He can come. He can come. Yep. 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 100%. 100%. Um. So let me ask you all a question. Um. Are we getting more Kaiju number 8?
The
You,
ending lets me believe that we are. Like, I get it. This is an ending. This manga is probably over. Because Kaiju number 8, like Kafka's story is probably over.
Yeah.
I think we get a Defense Force manga. Like it doesn't scream to me like this that we're done with this world.
Yeah.
I was talking to Isaac a little bit before you got here, and I was telling him I was like this. It feels like they left the door open just in case. Like maybe they don't have any ideas right now, and so it's like let's let this be an end. I'm not going to sort of draw a story that doesn't need to be, but who's to say come January or even next July it's like, oh, okay, I'm ready to come back into this world. And instead of explaining more of Kafka's stories, because his story, I think we got what we wanted out of his story, right? Like he's in a place now where he got to live his dream. He can still continue to live his dream, but he is happy with his lot in life. But we know that obviously there are still kaiju popping up. So we know that the Defense Force is still working and there's a story to probably still be told.
Yeah. Yeah. And also like this this book was so centric to Kafka's story and his contribution to the Defense Force
Mm-hmm.
that there's really a lot of questions to be answered. We're like, we don't know where Kaiju come from.
Right.
We don't really know what primitive Japan looked like as they faced Kaijus. Like, we only get the glimpse of what happened with the Meikiji era and and the idea that there's this spiritual force that came together and formed a kaiju in and of its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of questions left unanswered that, funny enough, you don't need the answers to them, but they're nice little threads that if you wanted to pull them, you can, and maybe get a little bit more, and from people that have enjoyed this world, we'll go back to it, right? So it's just there. Now, I I like the fact that, like you said, there's finality to Kafka's journey. I like the fact that they kind of let him create his own analysis team, and he's
Yeah.
the leader of. That was pretty cool. That he's more or less a researcher
Right.
more than anything, and from time to time, I'm Batman, right? Like like he has that thing, but I wouldn't mind a B-side kind of story, like seeing Reno's first days as a platoon leader, or any of the members, right? So I don't feel that we need to have a direct sequel that gives us a huge threat again, because
Fair.
they did kind of went out of the way to say that this is the biggest threat of kaiju base threat that we've ever had in the history, and we finally destroyed it. Kaiju is still around, but this was like the biggest threat.
Yeah.
And it took centuries for it to form. But I like the idea of not necessarily going further into the future, but just give me some slice of life stuff. I'm good with that.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess to that vein, even if you're like you said, trying to figure out the origins of kaiju, that gives you something where it's like you can still have a big bad of a series
Yes.
without it being world threatening. Like, you know,
Right.
if you're investigating the history of kaiju, you could easily unlock whatever, you know, whatever force was causing kaiju initially, like
Yeah.
where it's the we don't want them to have power to be able to create a second big cataclysm. So it's not a world ending threat immediately, but it's like a threat, like we have to take care of this right now, and that's how you create the through story.
Yeah, you're gonna have that one defense guy that's gonna turn evil, and he's gonna wanna.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You if you're dealing with the government, at some point you're gonna have we want to weaponize this for our non kaiju enemy, and boom, now you have
Yeah.
something that you're fighting against, and you're still being able to.
And every
Yeah.
every area of the world has their own kaiju.
I
North
mean,
America is shaped like Trump.
there's
you know what I
no
mean?
way
Like,
that
it's-
Japan was the only one that
Yeah.
had kaiju. Like you can for sure say like, oh, there are
Yes.
kaiju in Korea now. There are kaiju
Yeah,
in
yeah.
China. The U.S. found kaiju. Like there's definitely ways that you can expand the world.
Right. And it's funny you say that because this book was very specific in isolating all the events of the story to Japan.
Right.
And they didn't go out of their way to say that it doesn't happen anywhere else.
Right.
They didn't say that. Like, this is how Japan has handled the kaiju threat.
Right.
Maybe that's the vein. Maybe that's the other thread. It's like, how do other places deal with the kaiju threat?
Yeah, because I mean, we're assuming that Kaiju number 9 was world ending. He might have just took out Japan, and then he was going to expand and go to other places. So it's there's a lot that they can do.
There's no way that there's not a place in the world that deals with kaiju with mechas. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying, bro. I'm just throwing it out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
I was gonna say joke about saying that. Well, we are probably gonna get a sequel with some Boruto style stuff, but no, your guys' pitches sounds so much better.
I don't want a Boruto style Kaiju number 8. I don't know what that even would mean.
First off,
like
Boruto
Kaiju
2
the
Blue
kid.
Vortex is good. Damn it.
I'm gonna respectfully disagree. I'm so many chapters behind now because I was just like, I don't need to.
That's fine, bro. That's fun. I've caught up. It's good.
I'm gonna try to catch up.
I'm enjoying it.
But I'll have to look and see what's the last chapter I read, and then see how many I'm far behind. I'll try to catch up.
Yeah.
For those, this has nothing to do with Kaiju number 8, but I have to say this to the world. Sui Ishida, I have no idea what you're smoking, but Shoujo Next is still pretty good. Thank you. But let's wrap up this multi-dimension whatever it is that's going on soon, please. And Kutayama, thank you for giving me more Call of the Night. I was not expecting you to start a new arc. You started a new arc. I love you, and I'm done.
You always like to sidetrack, don't you?
Well, you know. But did we like the ending?
I act well. Dage, start. You can start about it.
I mean, I thought the ending was fine. Like I said, I was saying previously, I don't think there was much more you could really tell with Kafka's story, and this was very much his story. So anything beyond it, you were just going to be extending just for the sake of extending.
Right.
Like at this point, he is a Defense Force member. He feels like he is standing side by side with Mina. And I think that's all we needed from him, right? Like
we brought everything full circle.
Yeah, like he had like he said at the end, like he feels like he came home because the base is back up and running. So it's just, what else could you really have wanted? I can understand some people feeling like we didn't need it to be as tight of a bow, or that it feels like it ended abruptly. But again, I don't know where else you could have went.
What do you mean it ended abruptly?
That's
They were
what.
battling. They were battling this Kaiju number 9 guy for like 20 chapters. They
Yeah,
beat the guy, and we're done.
for it to say it ended, I want to say it was like last October. It might even been earlier than that.
Come
I
on,
distinctly
bro.
remember going in Discord being like, "Yo, Kaiju about to end in like 2 chapters," because I was like, "This just feels like the end."
Yeah.
And so the fact that we're here next July from when that said that, it's like I don't know what abrupt is for a lot of people, but it's not abrupt for me
Yeah,
because clearly I thought it was ending way sooner.
yeah. No, not only that, like we have a time skip. Like he's been in a coma for 4 months.
Yeah,
Oh, and by the way, I'm not gonna lie though. When he wakes up and his hair is doing whatever it's doing, he looks like a premium shonen protagonist. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
gave him like the hero hairdo, and then of course they cut it up and given his old little like the Kafka, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Look,
People don't know. Like they don't understand. Like if you
looks
binged
like
it,
it could be
it feels abrupt.
Deku's
But we
dad.
were
Yeah.
reading this monthly. You know what I mean? Like
right.
It ended properly.
Brandon, it looks
Yeah.
like it could have been Deku's dad in that
saying.
cut.
Just saying. Just saying.
So My Hero Academia confirmed to be in the same universe.
Oh hell no! There's two different Japans. But
I know. I'm just joking with you.
I know. I mean, I could see the abruptness in the sense that he wakes up and it's literally 30 pages of reminiscing and saying goodbye. Like I get that. Like there's no real needle that's being moved. It's literally an epilogue. It's really what we're getting from start to finish. But it's fine. I know that probably all those Kafka Mina shippers are mad because there's no indication that there was anything beyond just, fighting side by side.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I also appreciate that for having such a older main lead and above high school level characters, this book doesn't waste their time on romantic bullshit. Like it understands what it needs to be. Like it didn't need to do all that. It just did its thing. Let's kill kaiju. Let's get stronger, and that's it. I appreciate that.
I mean, if they're going to indicate anything like that, they might as well do it in a slight in a spin-off or whatever. I am totally agree that
I'm saying I don't need it, Isaac.
I'm just saying
that's
that if
fair.
they really want to,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Although you're pretty much nailing it on the head, I would say, because while I do enjoy this chapter, don't get me wrong, I can see if people say that I would like to see, well, let's say 1 or 2 chapter more, just focusing on what happens next, yada yada yada, type of deal, or just epilogue stuff as a sort of like you get the more. I don't know how I can explain that, but at least it's more than the original Dragon Ball Z ending epilogue. But it could have been nice at least in 1 or 2 time skip wise.
Yeah.
I won't deny that.
That's fair.
It's not like with the JAK where there is what is it? 70-year old, 70-year forward time skip with the characters you never saw, so at the very least.
Yeah. It's funny enough. I just went back because I wanted to see exactly when I had said I thought Kaiju was ending, and it was right when JJK ended. So the fact that you're bringing up the JJK ending, I don't remember what chapter that was, But apparently, I was like, "Yo, kaiju not lasting much longer." And yeah, that was almost a year ago. So
It would have ended the last year if it was weekly,
oh yeah,
though.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So
I don't know,
it.
guys. You got anything else, Isaac, on Kaiju number 8?
I hope. I honestly hope that we get some from a spin-off because
We got a game
they're
coming.
a mobile game.
Oh, is it mobile? Never mind. Then I
Yeah,
don't care
it's
anymore.
a free-to-play mobile.
You want to gotcha?
Oh well, never mind. I don't care anymore.
Same.
It's on Steam.
Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah,
for
I'm looking at the pictures. This is for sure a gotcha game. All right, well I'm out.
I mean, they have that Bleach gacha game. They have Persona 5X on it, and which is also gacha games.
No, well I'm out then.
So,
I do.
so
But
what is the book that is carrying shonen for you? Now that I mean, now that Kaiju was carrying shonen, right? But what are the two books that are right now carrying you going back to shonen weekly?
outside of One Piece,
Yes, we can't count something that's been going on for 26 years. That is going to carry. That's going to carry Shonen Jump till the end of time. So let's not. We can't count that. But Isaac, if you were to name two manga books that you think are more than enough for you to keep going back to Shonen Jump, now that Kaiju's done, what are those two books?
that's a bit hard because I read a lot of the books on the Shonen Jump.
So,
Which
what
is
are the ones that you would recommend the most?
Oh, can you take that first? I am a bit unsure, honestly.
Yeah, because I mean I could
Yeah.
probably I Shonen Jump. Ooh, I only now that Kaiju just ended. There's really only one book that I consistently go back for, and it's Kagurabachi.
Bro, that book is fire, bro.
It's so good. Like
Oh, dude,
I'm
they just ended us arc last, bro.
yeah.
Oh, yes,
That's all
yes, bro.
that's the one that I consistently go back for. Like I said, I should probably pick back up Two Blue Vortex just to see. Dandadan, I'm casually reading just because it's like the anime is out and it was already out before I decided to start reading it, so I'm not necessarily going back just for that. But obviously, there's still a ton on there. I need to sit down one day and just see what all I've missed and just try to see what I can do to pick up because, like I said, now this subscription I need to use it, and one of the two series that I was consistently going back for just ended. So
Yeah,
if you got any recommendations, throw them in the comments so I can know to go and look at those.
yeah, but Kagurabachi definitely is
I'm
like this.
so happy I got an anime adaptation coming.
Yo, I cannot understand because I think this manga's first book too.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
I think so. I've never heard of him before. I mean, not that I
Yes.
know.
Are you talking about the Kaiju manga canal?
No. The Kagurabashi manga.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah, that's
think
his first.
that's his first. And this guy has not missed. Like he does not miss. Like the way he draws action, the way he blends the sword play with the magic,
It's great.
and the way the plot escalates in such a creative way. Everything feels new in this book, and I think is what I like about the most.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's definitely, I think, the quintessential modern shonen because it
Yeah.
doesn't feel old timey. It feels like a modern shonen book for this year's youths. You know what I mean? Like so definitely Kagurabachi is one of those that keeps me coming back. Sakamoto Days is still doing
Yeah.
great, so I keep going back for that. Um, and of course, when I want something light and I don't want to think because it's not really your thinker's book,
Mm.
I'll dive into Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi. Um, but I still say I'm still gonna say it till I ran out of breath. A lot of people are sleeping on Shojin X.
Okay.
Shojin X is so good. If you liked Tokyo Ghoul, even if you didn't like how it ended, if you like Tokyo Ghoul, I think Sui Ishida has really learned a lot from hit their work on Tokyo Ghoul and what a lot of people didn't like about it, because Shojin X really is a stronger book, and the art style is very particular. Especially if you like the cover pages for Tokyo Ghoul and stuff like that, a lot of that is on. It's a very dirty kind of um, scratch notebook kind of drawings.
Hmm.
But Shoujo Next, a lot of people are sleeping in that book, and that's one of those that when I see a chapter drop, I'm like, "Ooh, I'm ready. Let's go." I think right
Nice.
now it's almost at 100 chapters, but it's one of those books that uses 52.1, 52.3, 52. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah.
doesn't have. So if you add everything up, I think it's close to 100 chapters
Okay.
now. But it's really really good. And if you go into the Viz app, like I mentioned, Kotoyama just dropped out of nowhere, or maybe it's just because that I don't listen to news, so I don't know what's coming out. I just open the app and see it. But he's doing a new arc for Call of the Night. It's called the Paradise arc, and it picks up where the main character was at the end of the book, and it's so far it's very interesting. So I'm enjoying it quite a bit. It's done 3 chapters so far, and Psalm 100, that book, still solid, still kicking ass every time I see a new chapter. I'm still collecting. I'm 17 volumes in. Next
Nice.
volume drops on the 8th on December. So definitely check out Some 100. And for those that want to get a nice sneak peek into our favorite cock of them all, go read Rooster Fighter. Rooster Fighter is
My brother's reading
officially,
that.
yeah, Rooster Fighter is on Viz. So, and I think it's a monthly title. So go check it out.
Nice.
Cockle-doodle doo, motherfucker. Rooster Fighters is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, that's one of the. While I'm not reading it, it's on my to watch list when it comes out. And I have to say, I I really don't know what to really suggest, because if it has to be two titles, because I read so many different books and all. But going by what you guys said, and having to, the first one is, I'm gonna cheat a bit and say, yeah, and say it's a, what is it? What's it called? Uh, Now I lost honorable
Describe it.
mention.
Just
Honorable
describe it.
mention. Honorable mention. There we have it. But
Okay.
uh, the honorable mention, because it's a very unique book in, or should I say, acquired taste in some other fashion. It's uh, Centuria, which I've noticed, which a lot of people, some people are yamming it with it, but others just, I don't know about this art style and all that jazz. But it's a book that I think a lot of more people should take a look at. And if you're a fan of Dan Dan Da, Chainsaw Man, it's from another assistant of Fujimoto, so who have worked with him. Uh, It's one of my currently favorite books, but main wise, just based on what you guys said, since I can't mention One Piece, I probably would have to say Spy Family. Where? Wait, what happened to Brandon?
I was just about to ask, but continue, Spy Family.
Yeah. What happened?
I don't know. I guess the world didn't want to know what you said.
I can say Spy Family is one of them, and one of them, and the other one, just to change it up a bit, it's Blue Box. Honestly, just
Oh,
if you
nice.
want to have it's a sweet, simplistic slice of life romance book. So, and okay, I'm gonna cheat a bit. No, I was gonna cheat a bit and mention the metaphor manga, but you should all read it, play the book, play the game first. So,
I'm playing the game. It's fun.
yeah. But with that said, like you said, do we have anything else to say before we go?
I got nothing.
We've done the thing, guys. We've done the thing.
Well, then, Didge, where can people find you?
You can find me at Dig D in all places. That is DIDGEDEE. Keep a lookout on Twitch. I'll be gaming at some point this weekend. Jamie and I'll be playing Night Rain. Um, and then my full playthrough of Expedition 33 is up on YouTube if you missed that live.
Nice. Nice. How about you, Brandon? Where can people find you?
You can find me on the Shatter After talking all things movies, all things Superman, and probably all things DC for a while. You can find me here on the Amateur Otaku talking anime, and if you want to find me on socials, you can find me on at Monkey D Braffy at Blue Sky.
Nice. And well, you can find me at Amateur Otaku, and you can find me here at Twitch on the Swedish Emblem, and you can find my own YouTube channel, which is also the Swedish Emblem, where I'm currently uploading episodes for the Astral Chain Let's Play. And after that, it's uploads gonna be on, as I just streamed, DK Badansa Donkey Kong Banan. Just did a stream before we hit up this one, and I love this game so far. That game is truly bonanza. All jokes aside, but with that said, have it awesome, y'all.
Peace.